Yo, what's up, bro?
What up? What up? What up? It's
Man,
another week. We here. What's going
we are
on?
here. We made it.
We
We
made
made
it,
it.
man. It is one thing when you got to celebrate the weekends. You got to celebrate life post weekend that we have arrived at
Yeah,
Monday.
man.
I
Hey, it's another weekend coming up.
admittedly, I've been struggling to keep track of what time of the year it is. I don't know what's going on with me lately, but at work I'll be like, man, next week when October hits, we'll be able to do that. So people's like, it's February, it's next month is February. And I'll be like, yeah, I'm way off. Like, I don't know what's going on with me.
So I heard on the radio today. They said January is the most depressing month of the year.
Really?
It's the month where people are the most depressed. Didn't really go to dive in and do any research on this. This is just heard it on the radio. So I think it probably has to be true. It's radio, internet, all of these things. When they say it out loud, it kind of
Yeah.
has to be true. But they made a good, at least the reasoning was sound in that you're coming off the holidays and then you're like in this no man's land of like you've just come off holidays and vacation, and then there's nothing really in January to celebrate or
Right.
do, and then you don't really have another vacation unless I think until if you're a parent or if you have kids in school, you get President's Day in February, I think. But other than that, you don't really have nothing else until spring break. And so it's like you
Yeah.
don't really. And then it's cold sale, the weather's bad, so all of those things compounded to made it one of the most depressing months of the year.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It just throws me off. I don't know what it is about January. And maybe my brain is just like, I don't want to deal with January. Right. So it's like skipping forward as fast as possible. But I promise you, I wake up some days and I'm like, it feels like October. It feels like a solid November to me. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, I'm just off, you know?
I feel that, right? Like for me, I think right now I'm in this spot of, because we just confirmed like what we need to pay for it, but we finally found the place we want to go for spring break with the boys. And so now that we
Right.
know it, now we'll pay for it tonight, tomorrow. It'll be like now it's just this mental trug to get to spring
Yeah,
break, and so that'll be the
definitely.
next time I take some time off. Candace, she already talking about, man, I'm tired, right? And I'm like, I get it, right? Hey, we got to lock in for what, 8 weeks?
Right.
Lock in for 8 weeks. So get through February. February is a short month. Once we get to March,
And see,
vacations in
now
sight.
I was just telling Danielle, I was like, man, before you know it, it's Valentine's Day. Then we got a
Yep.
couple birthdays going on in the family, culminating with Remy's first birthday at the end of February. March is really like the month of nothingness to me. Like, I don't think there's it's a long month and there's absolutely nothing going on during the month of
No, ain't
March.
nothing in March.
But then April comes along and it's like boom, boom, bang, hot weather. How do we
Yeah.
get to the hot weather? Right.
Yeah. I
And
think
then that's
once you
when,
hit April,
you know,
yeah, I mean, I think like you said, I think once you hit April, like it's all downhill, right? Like the
right.
weather get warm, and then it's like, yo, now this is my living season right here.
Right.
Oh, Candace said March is the stepchild of months. I'll
It
get
is.
that.
It is. I believe that to be true. It's like it's
Your
just
wife says you have to make moments. Hey, your wife in here preaching early now. You better catch it. She
I
manifesting.
know, right?
She
What
say you have to make moments between vacations.
I need her to manifest this lottery. I mean, this Megan, the
Hey,
Powerball's up to
take the little
630.
wins, baby.
I'm looking for a big win. I need her to go to bed and be like, we will win this lottery tonight, right?
Hey
So
man, take the little wins, bro. Take the little wins.
take little wins. I'll take little wins. I'll take a little millions. You know what I mean? Little tiny millions. I'll take that, you know, over the large
Hey,
millions. No, but March is definitely the weirdest month because it's not really cold. It's not nice outside. It's like wet all the time. It's just weird.
And then because we live in Atlanta or we live in Georgia, we're gonna get a really warm weekend, and then the very next weekend it's gonna snow.
Yeah, legit. It'll be like end of March, and you'll be like, the forecast says 80, and it'll be like 80 with snow. How did it snow this morning? And in the afternoon, people are walking around in shorts. That's very Atlanta thing. And I don't know, man. But yeah, it just throws me off. It just throws me off. I'm still getting used to 2023. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm gonna get there eventually. But yeah, I've been all over the place.
Get it, man. Hey, let's not let this year go by, man. Let's not let this year go by. I'm trying to, I told you, man, I wanted to make this the best year of my life from a mental health standpoint, from a physical standpoint. I fell off the wagon probably 1 or 2 days, I'll probably say about 3 days last week, maybe 2 days. It was just like, this is trash, man. Like the vacation plans weren't working out. And it was just like, So, I started a spiral. But
right.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Bro, you gotta call me when you spiral. You gotta hit me up.
It wasn't a bad spiral. It was just, like it wasn't even like uber negativity, like I'm getting angry. I think it was just like, when you start to just, we want to take the kids on a vacation. We always, spring break that's the time, right? We want to go. That's the time when we want to do a nice vacation with the kids. And so like everywhere was like expensive as hell. Like not even to get like to fly. It was like, we normally go to Puerto Rico for spring break and they wanted like 6 racks just for plane tickets for us 5. Like, so we were going to take her mom with us this time. Because I think her mom's she has a big birthday or something like that. This year. And so we're like, yo, let's So Candace will tell you, I go to worst case scenario, like real heavy, real quick. I go from 0 to worst case scenario real quick. And so, so it was like Puerto Rico they wanted 6 racks to get to Puerto Rico. They wanted 5,000 to get to Cancun. So like all of these like places that should be fairly inexpensive to get to, people wanted like ridiculous amounts of money. And it was just like, yo, like I ain't paying, $6,000 for flights and then have to turn around and spend another 3 or 4 on hotel and food for the week, right? So it's just like, worst. You go again 0 to worst case scenario, and it's like, well, I guess we ain't going on vacation this year. So we're back now.
Yeah. Well, you said it worked out. You found some though, right?
Yeah. So we ended up. I think where we landed was right now to get Panama is actually the cheapest flight you can find.
Okay.
So you can on Delta, you can get to Panama right now for like $800 a ticket. And so, like that was like, okay, cool, we can live with that. And then the issue with Panama is Panama has literally one highway that takes you from one end of the country to the other. Ain't no 285, right? It ain't 285, 75, 85, 585, 570. No, it's Highway 1 from the airport up the coast into literally Highway 1 takes you from Alaska all the way through California, through Mexico, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, I guess, whatever, into Panama, stops at Colombia. And so that's the struggle, is it ain't no easy. Either people fly in to Panama and either rent a car and drive to their resort, or they rent a car, they land and then hop on a smaller plane and then do one of those small planes to the other side to their resort, right? So it's like, boom. Yeah. So like you'll go, from here, it's a 4-hour flight to Panama, and then you may go catch another flight to do a 40-minute flight to the other side of the country. But none of those things were quite lining up right. And so finally we made it work out. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. So it should be dope. We found a nice little boutique. Huh?
You said y'all are gonna rent a car?
Yeah. We're gonna rent a car. And then land in the resort we found that was really, really nice, kind of not boutique-y, but just small. It's about a 4 or 5 hour drive from the airport. So Candace, like Panama City doesn't have beaches, right? Like it's the Atlanta of Panama, except it's on the coast. And so, but it doesn't have really good beaches. So you have to drive to other points along the way. And so the spot we found was about 5 hours from the airport. So we'll land, rent a car, shoot on over.
Hey, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. Hit the water. So it should be dope.
That's cool. That's cool. You got to take lots of pictures, lots of video, man. That's going to be fun.
I will leave that to Candace because she's the videographer of the fan.
She's the good media creator there. She does media well.
Yeah, she's the creator. No, I mean, it'll be dope. Like Candace didn't like the fact that she was like, she doesn't like long travel days with the kids. So you talk about a 4-hour flight into a 5-hour drive. And so I'm like, let's just rent the car, download a bunch of videos for the kids. We'll stop for food and stuff along the way. And let's just make it happen. We'll be at the beach by the end of the day. Boom, we're good to go. And then on the way back, come in a day early, spend the night in Panama City so that we don't have to come back and rush to the airport. Drop the car off a day early, stay in a hotel, boom, boom, bam, get on the plane on Saturday, be home.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Plans. Hey, look at you coming together, fighting through
fighting through the mental struggle, man. Because this is really Candace's goal. I told you it's like, coming out of COVID, she was like, I want to do 4 vacations a year. And so the times that they line up are traditionally spring break, summer, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, right? So, or once a quarter is typically when they line up. Right. We're not going to get one in this quarter, but she wanted 4. And so like, this is her goal, and she made that thing happen, and it was important. And so, I am just the living beneficiary of what she wanted to do 2 years ago. So
yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I don't know, man. We haven't made much progress. We've had other things going on at the house that we haven't even been thinking about vacation yet. We probably need to. And that's the problem. Is like we probably get caught up in way too many other things to be thinking. Like it's like we got to focus on the other stuff that matters. It's just been rough, man. That's why I think we're mostly, I think getting through Remy's first birthday will be like a yes, finally. We have a.
I'm excited.
Right. We're so excited about it. And just like Danielle said, we're still trying to figure out sleep.
Fam. What you talking? I don't think you can figure that out, bro. Like how old is Avery, Candace? Like 3? We still ain't getting sleep, bro.
Right.
Like the other day, Candace sent me a picture, and this dude is like sleep in her armpit.
No.
And I'm just like, you're 3.
No, Remy has been showing all the signs of a little sleep terrorist, man. She's like, I'm not going down. I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna go down. I'm up. And like it's one thing, like you sit there for like half an hour, you're like, oh, okay. By now you probably sleep, and you look down, and what do I see? Like and then she'll tap me like, keep going, keep rocking, just keep going. And I'll be like, what the? Yep. So I don't
Hey,
know,
well,
man.
hold on. 2 points
We
here.
should with that.
You're not gonna talk bad about my Ram dollar. Nope. See, y'all not gonna talk bad about Remy.
I will.
Y'all not gonna talk bad about my. I ordered her birthday present. Now we just gotta wait and see when it come in.
Hey, Remy will appreciate all that stuff, but you will see Remy has her own little personality that we are finding every day to be. Oh, okay, that's how you roll. Okay, right. Thank you,
Mhm.
thank
Yeah,
you.
that's it, bro. It's the second kids, man. It's the second kids.
Yeah, man. These second kids hit different. They hit way
Yeah,
different.
bro.
I don't know
Yeah,
why
man.
y'all didn't warn us. You didn't warn us the right way. You didn't tell us. The second kid different. They hit different.
Hey, well, hey, you know what you should do? Just go ahead and push on to that third one, and then it'll negate the effects of the second one. So I hear.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about. You better stop speaking that gibberish. No, but I think once we figure out the sleep deal and we can get predictable sleep, you know what I mean? Like when you start getting at least a little bit predictable. Like I think if I
Yeah,
could
man.
get like 5 hours predictable sleep, I'd be solid. You know what I mean? Five just no one tells you that 5 is a premium. 5 hours of sleep is such a luxury at this point that
Bam.
I just train my body to run on nothing.
Yeah,
So aspirations, that's what
that's
my
real.
body runs on
That's
these days. So
I think that's what hit me last week because I wasn't feeling hot at all last week. But I think it was just, you grinding too hard, right? Like I was
right.
up early to go to the gym. Work was, we had a couple big work events last week that was keeping me up late at night. So I wasn't going to bed until about midnight again. And so, like one day, my body was just like, "Oh, the kids are in bed, so are you." And it wasn't. I couldn't even
Yeah.
fight it. Like Candace was in the office working, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go in the room." And by the time she got there, 30 minutes later, she said I was out.
I don't
So
know. Every now
your
and then
body goes,
my body hits the shutdown hard button, and it's like shut down.
"Mhm,
Next thing you know, knocked out.
bro. But that's what like so I think it's this is why it's important for us to I think that's why like that trip that y'all took a couple weeks ago where it's just you and her. Like I
Yeah,
think it's good to just rest and reset, right? Because as parents, we go
right.
hard, and I don't think anybody prepares us for that grind. Like there's nothing you can do to prepare for that level of grind. And so just taking those opportunities to rest and reset, which by most accounts are frowned upon, right? Everybody
Yeah.
says, "Oh man, you sleep when you die, grind," but like that's not
You
sustainable.
can't do
It's not. Like
that. Can't do
I
that.
feel my body shutting down.
Well, the thing I brought up to Danielle the other day was, um, where's the peace, right? I think that's
Mhm,
essentially what I was looking for. Is like, where's the peace? Where's the calmness? Where's the stillness? Where's the inertia, right? Or whatever. Like, where's the point where
mhm,
it's just it's cool, right? It's just cool. There's always something kind of popping up or something that demands a lot of focus in the backdrop of other things that demand more focus and more attention. And it's just busyness, man. Like the busyness, I think for
mhm.
me is more exhaustive. And I think that's because naturally I'm much more of an introvert as it relates to those type of things, right? Like I could do it.
Gotcha.
It's just going to tap me out of my energy for a hot second. So doing that so often, the busyness is what really starts draining me out. And I think that's what leads to as we were talking about, that stop button, that hard shut it down. But shut it down, transform. Done. I'm
Yeah.
done. You know what I mean?
For me, I don't know if it's the busyness or if it's just um it's mental overload, right?
Yeah.
It's when I'm consistently being asked to problem solve, or I'm consistent like
Right.
I just can't or I just can't work. I just can't put my head down and go, but I gotta go. But it's like, oh, hey, solve this problem. Oh, hey, do this
Yeah.
thing. Oh, hey, be creative. And I'm like, I got nothing left in the tank.
Right. I know exactly what you mean. Um, there's a such thing as called decision exhaustion or something. I can't remember the exact term for it, but it's like for each decision, your decision making ability is less quality than previous for the first one. So the more things that you have to be like A or B, A or B. And this probably actually explains a lot because it's part of the reason why I'm so stressed out by eye test, by going to the optometrist. I hate going to the optometrist. I can't stand it. I think it is one of the most draining things ever to sit in this chair, have them put that eye contraption on your face and be like, 1 or 3. 1 or 3. And you're like, I don't they look very similar. Okay, 4 or 19. You're like 19. When did we go through the rest of them? Okay, let me ask you this: blue or 49? And you're like, I'm so lost. I don't know. They're all sharp. I don't. Maybe they're all blurry. I don't know. What's the right answer? Decision fatigue drains the shit out of me. And Keisha said, get LASIK. Keisha, I got LASIK for that reason, and now it's worn off, and now I got to wear glasses again. So I don't even know where are my glasses. That's how I know I'm getting old. But definitely,
so
I love
saying no. Saying no gets easier with age.
That's it though. Like, does no get easier or does yes get harder? You know what I mean? Like, I could be nothing, right? Or is it that no actually becomes easier?
I need to know at what age no starts getting easy because I'm gonna be 40 this year. Does it happen at 40 or is it 41? Is it 45? Like, let me know so I got something to look forward to because
I ain't even gonna lie.
I'll say this.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. This raggedy bitch, yes, shows up to my house. I'm slamming that door right in front of her fucking face. I'll be like, hell no. You better go somewhere. No.
I'll say I've said no a couple times this year, or at least I can think of probably once or twice of organizations or things that have pulled on the coattails, and it was like, "Hey, can you lead this or can you do this?" And I'm like, "Nah, I didn't tell them no right away. But it took. I left that email unresponded to for about a week, and then I saw that person and I saw him in person, and I was like, man, you can see I didn't even respond to the email. I don't have capacity for that. Because I didn't. And I knew it's a slippery slope because once you start back down the hill of saying yes and getting and doing this, then it's like, oh, Jeff is back, or oh, such and such is back involved. Now we can add more things to the plate. And I'm like, no, I don't know. Right. No, nope. Don't want to do it. Oh.
I'm just telling you, like, for me, it ends up being like I don't think I have a problem saying no. I think I have a problem saying stop. Right. Or chill out. Right. right. Like, people come up all the time and they're like, hey, this, that, this, that. And I mean, it's my natural inclination. I like trying to fix things. I like trying to help where help is possible. I hate turning people down, but also I need to get better about being like, I just don't feel like it. Right. Like I think I told somebody at my job, I just don't feel like I'm entitled to feel not like it. Right. I don't feel like it. Zoinks. I don't know. What else do you want from me? Right. I told someone in my job, hey, what is this?
What your wife said.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that I think that's true. The challenge with that is, right, like it's when you're trying to navigate interactions with others, right? Where it's like not, it can't always be your thing, but it's got to be other people's things, right? And trying, I don't know, man. It's hard. It is a struggle. It
But
is a
hold
struggle.
on, let me rewind, right? Because if you always saying yes to other people's thing, but you ain't, but those same people ain't saying yes to your thing,
Well, I mean, so I guess what
then
I'm
we're
trying to say,
you don't want to get left over to the
how
back,
do you
right?
how do you keep an expansive growth mindset of things outside of your bubble if you can't say yes to other people's things, right? Because those things are things that get you expansive. They expand you a little bit. They show you
Mm-hmm.
capacity for more than what you realize is in your capability index. But at the same time, there's this balancing point behind you're doing that too much, right? And now you need to kind of pull it back in a little bit. And I think that's the tension that I'm always trying to navigate through. It's like, am I doing the most when it comes to this, or am I doing the right amount? You know what I mean?
So I think that honestly, I think you forgot one thing, right? Because I think what you just described still doesn't include you, right? I think what you described was saying yes to other people or reeling it back in and saying no, but there's still the third side to the coin in this this
A third
fictitious
sided
proverbial
coin.
three-sided coin. Yeah, it's a third-sided coin that
A
says,
third.
like, I ain't doing nothing for you. I'm going to pull back and not do the things that I was doing, and then I'm going to do something for myself. Right?
Yeah.
Like all of
But
those
see,
things have to, like, you can't say yes, 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 and then I'm gonna pull back on that, but then not recast the line and the lake for yourself. Right?
I don't
Like,
know.
does that
I
make
don't know,
sense?
man. It's weird for me. I would say it's weird for me. I can recognize that weird tension thing because at some point I do recall that when I was younger, like early 20s, I was a completely different person, right? Like social butterfly all over the place, like out and about, got to be here, there, everywhere. And at some point I hit the hard T and was like, tap out. I'm done, right? And people were like, "What's wrong with you?" Nothing's wrong with me. I'm just not doing that anymore. Right. And it was a hard turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I know I can become like a much more of like a no, 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 I'm cool. Sitting inside the crib, right? Chilling, not going anywhere, not doing anything. But that's also not my balancing point. It doesn't bring me the type of joy. I guess it's still trying to figure out what brings you joy in that space, right?
That's a bro. You asking big questions today, bro. That you are asking
It's
because that I mean you know my struggle. Like that's the thing for me. Like what brings you personal joy, um,
and
and you
how
know
aware are you? How aware are you to the joy meter, right? At what point, like, because I'll be candid with you, there's times where I love what I do. I love what I do
mhm.
as a there are other times where I'm like, the thing that I love to do is taking advantage of my life, right? And that's that's where it starts to become like a when you start questioning that, have you drawn out the joy meter? Is the joy meter kind of done at that point, right?
My wife is going to say what you do doesn't define who you are, and what
Mm.
you do can't be the it's traditionally not the thing that brings you joy. Like this is what my wife is going to say because she said it to me, right?
Right.
So you won't find joy in the things that you in the work, quote unquote, in the things that we do for a living. um it's just a part of who we are, but it's not who we are. So we
See, I
have to
don't know,
find out
man.
what's
I don't disagree, but I don't agree either, right? I don't know
Oh,
where I'm at.
Tasha said you ain't never gonna find joy if you keep saying yes to everyone but yourself.
Well, I don't think it's like saying yes to everyone but myself, right? I just think
Okay.
it's always constantly asking if this yes is myself, right? Is this
Okay.
the is that yes me, or is that me trying to assimilate into something? And I think most people do this. There's the there's the you, and there's the you that you believe yourself to be, right? And I think in a lot of people's cases, there's the you in your core. It's who you are as a person, but there's also the you that you want to believe that you are. Like everyone would say, I don't know that everyone would say this, but if you were to say, I'm a friendly person, the only way you can really define yourself as being a friendly person is to be friendly, right? If you encounter times where you're just like, I don't want to be friendly, then maybe that was a one off thing. The more times that happens, are you not, in fact, an actual friendly person? Or are you just unfriendly? You're an unfriendly person that thinks you're friendly, and that's where you're
Or
trying
maybe
to go.
people will catch you on a bad day.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Not just the one offs, but like as I look back over the past month, there are more unfriendly times than there are friendly times, right? Am I now an unfriendly person? I get all types of mixed up with this stuff, and it's probably the philosophy stuff that's just eating away at the core of like question everything, right?
Oh,
So I guess that's my
I could agree with thinking this.
huh. Say it again.
I said I could agree. I could agree that you are probably overthinking this point here.
I overthink
But
it.
I also respect the space that you're in. Um, I feel like the podcast has turned into, hey, y'all jump in the comment section to help Jeff and Carrie get through these issues that we have, which is
Right.
okay, right?
Help us work through help us work through life. What is happening in those guys' life? We have to watch because they are going through some meta meta analysis of where they are in the world and what's happening at these days and times. I don't know,
I mean,
man.
but I think I think some of this is important to couch. That I think a lot of people go through it. I think people just don't admit that they're going through it, and I think in some cases we're going through it in a very public way on a podcast every other Monday or whenever we talk about the random things and the random ramblings of our heart.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I don't know, but I mean, I also feel like if you would have not if you would have taken the year that we spent isolated in COVID, if that didn't happen, I think I'm still going down the path of grind all day, all the time, commute to work. This is the way life is. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I think I'm probably still that person. But I think what happened is that for me, that COVID slowdown forced me to say, I ain't trying to grind this hard like I have done for the first 10 years of my career. Like there has to be some level of equilibrium. What is it that I really want to do? What is it? What is it that I want to do from a profession? What is it that I want to do with my life? Like, what is it that I'm purpose? So, what is it that I want to do for a profession? What is it that I'm purpose to do with with the big picture? What is it that brings me joy? I think if it wasn't for that slowdown, I would have never hit that wall of how do I answer those three questions? Now, am I still working through what the answers to those three questions are? Yes. But I think for me, COVID forced me to pause and say, slowing down is okay. All right, now that I've slowed down, now your mind starts to wander around all the other things that may be possible to do, what is it that I want to do with the rest of, like, yo, I'll be 40 this year, you know, good Lord willing, I'm hitting, I'm going to hit 80,
Right.
and what is it that I want to do with the next 40 years of my life? Because I don't want to waste them. So Danielle said there's a book.
She's whoa.
I feel like I said a lot of words.
No, I feel you. I think kind of similar in that same vein for me, but a little bit different, is this idea that I've always been trying to search to be the best version of myself, right? And again, it kind of goes back to this idea of I can only be the best version of myself by being the best version, like being the best version of myself. So if I say I'm a person of integrity, then I can only be a person of integrity by exercising that integrity, right?
I thought you were about to make up a word.
No, I wasn't, but I was getting close. But no.
I was like, see, integrous?
Integrous. No, but I mean, like I've seen this with people that I've had to mentor before, right? And it's like, look, I committed to helping you see the blind spots. That means I'm committed to telling you the things that you don't want to necessarily hear, but that's the person that I told myself I would be. As weird as this might feel for me to tell you the things that you don't want to hear, I will have to tell you that, right? And that's the only way.
Daniel brought up a good point. So I hear, and I'm internalizing what you're saying. Daniel, a couple minutes ago, said that's what coaches do, and so I want to flip that, right? Because you say that this is what you do for other people, but the other side of that coin is then who's doing that for you? And I think that's Daniel's point. Daniel, please correct me if I'm wrong, but that's a coach, right? And so here you are going through the motions and coaching other people, and I can say the same thing, right? Mentor a lot of people. This is what I do from a professional standpoint in helping young development professionals kind of navigate through this space. And so I think to Daniel's point, it's like, all right, Carrie, this is what you're doing. You're being a coach for other people, but who's being the coach for Carrie?
Well, I think that's one of those other defining things, is that to know that aspect of me is to know that I'm constantly kind of aware of that, right? Which is like, somehow I either have to coach myself or I have to figure out a way to move forward in that. And it's weird as hell. Like sometimes it's very stressful, kind of just trying to figure out how to be the best version of yourself without draining yourself, right? Without constantly holding yourself under that pressure to do more, right? Do more, do the most, do as much as possible all the time, right? Because you don't have someone that's like, you've done enough, chill out, right? So,
okay, can I ask a follow-up to this?
Yeah.
So, all right, if I envision life or this journey as a long car ride, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're describing to me, and if I'm wrong, you can say, boom, Jeffrey, you're wrong. What it seems like to me that you are describing is like, hey, I'm going to do this long car ride and I'm going to do it alone, right? Because I'm aware of my own blind spots, right? I can see, boom, mirror, mirror, mirror. I'm aware of my blind spots. Instead of saying, hey, I want to get 3 or 4 people, 2 or 3 people in the car with me so that we can all look for blind spots. And maybe I can take a mental break and not necessarily have to focus as much on my own blind spots.
No, I wouldn't go that far. I don't think it's that
okay.
dynamic, right? And I don't think it's that dynamic because I rely on friendships, connections that I have with others to the of people that know me, right? I I think
Mhm.
there's like a there's almost for some people there's that shallowness of like a work colleague where it's like I know you but I don't know you like that, right? But then you have real friends that are like, nah, I know you, right? And I
Mhm.
rely on those people to let me know where's the barometer at, right? Like we need to pause on everything and get together. Or there's moments where family kind of causes you to do that sometimes, right? And say it's not about more, it's about stopping. Here's a stop. Here's a pause. Let's take this in for a second. Let's stop on or asking you dynamic questions about what are you doing that make you go back to the beginning and say, did I am I doing this in a very effective way, or who am I exercising myself to be? So I rely on friendships for that, for that type of connection,
I got
friendships in the support system.
you. Okay.
So, but I still think that sometimes there are elements where you're like, I'm kind of out here by myself. I'm trying to figure out how we gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that. And I think some of that, if we're being transparent, like it's like, hey, we're going to be transparent with the world, right? I think some of that is the idea that, oh, if I share this with you, or if I dive into this with you, where'd you go? You doing? Oh, I was like, are you doing? Am I adding too much to your plate because I am dumping all of my issues on you, or not necessarily dumping, it's probably not the right word, but if I'm
Oh no,
like,
I've been there.
yo, this
I
is
know
what I'm
exactly.
dealing with today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, is it easier for me to go through this alone, or just compartmentalize it? Like, whoop, 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 all right, it's gone. I'll deal with it and put it here, check it off. And then, or is it easier to go to somebody that I'm connected to or love and say, yo, this is what I'm going through. Help me process these emotions or feelings. I
That's a
don't have the answer to
vulnerability.
that, by the way. It's
That's a
easier for me to
vulnerability.
compartmentalize it.
Yeah, I think it's like I'm much more to be the type of person that I've already thought about the angles. I've already figured this out that this is the best of the worst case of the best of the worst decisions possible. I'm moving forward and I've never even said anything. You know what I mean? And people are like, "Oh, you must like making really tough decisions." Like, no, I just thought about it already. There was no point in debating about it. This was the most optimal path forward. We're moving forward. And it's like, oh, but you didn't bring anybody along for the ride. It's like, what was the point of the ride? You know, everybody else should have a good time because they don't have to be burdened with it. Let's just kind of keep it moving. You know what I mean? And I think that's how I tend to think about things. But you got to bring people in for the ride. Uh oh. I think I lost your audio, Jeff. You on mute?
You got me now?
Yeah, I got you now. I hear you now.
That's what Tasha said. Everybody just think that's why I don't mind sharing what I ate.
Hey,
Tasha got country wisdom, boy.
yeah. Tell them what them trees talking about. I used to have an aunt that lived in North Carolina and country North Carolina. She was like, listen to the trees. Tell them what the trees saying. And I was like, what does that mean? I was like, the trees out here talking, like
Yo,
the trees
amen.
out here talking. And she was like, no, like the wind blowing. Listen what they're telling you a storm is coming or something like that. And I was like, man, that's dope sounding stuff out
So
here.
I can't just listen to my knees. Is that what happened? Oh, here you go. We about to mute Dan for this fly eagle fly stuff.
Hey,
No, actually,
he's right on cue though. He's right on cue. Fly,
hey,
Eagles, fly.
I hope it's a good game. I hope it's a good game.
Hey man, I gotta tell you that was people said the Eagles showed up to the championship. I will let you know the 49ers lost hard, right? Like you were down to your third string quarterback. He got injured. You put in your fourth string quarterback. He got a concussion. You're down to talking about Christian McCaffrey. being the quarterback. So then you put in Brock Purdy, who's injured, and all y'all can do is run the ball, and everybody on the broadcast is like, so wait, they're just gonna run the ball for the rest of the game? Yeah, this is
all right. So okay, real quick, I gotta highlight the fact that was one hell of a transition. Like we went from like, yo, existential life threat to fly Eagles fly because of Daniel. So hey, bro, like I get it. Like Purdy, my man. If we're sticking with this transition, Purdy didn't have an elbow by after the second quarter, and I turned the game off, and I was like, all right, I'll watch Voltron. I think what did I turn on? Turned on Voltron. Turn the Netflix, hit Voltron up, right? Like, yo, I'll go back to Old Faithful. It's too late, Daniel. It's too late, man. Like, you can't be sorry after you threw it in the comedy segment.
He brought up the Eagles. I was glued to that game. I was like, come on. Because I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. So I really wanted to see Jalen make it. So I
think Danielle just responded to, she just put the name of that book. So if you go up Danielle's long post, she's talking about a book. Slide down real quick, everybody. The book that she was talking about was called The Kids Are in Bed. So boom, there you go. Just want to make sure we shout that out for those who, are looking for that resource.
Yeah, man. So talking about that Super Bowl, I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. I am rooting for Philly. I'm rooting for Jalen. I hope they win.
I'm not.
No?
No. I like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, no. No.
I love Patrick Mahomes. I love him as a QB.
I like him as a person. I like his State Farm commercials, but no. I'm from Jersey.
I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm from South Jersey. That would be a definite.
Yeah, you got to.
Right?
You got to. Me, Jalen, he played for Alabama, so I'm going to go with the other guy.
Hey, Jalen played for Alabama, but I gotta say he was one of the most stand-up dudes at Alabama. To be taken out of the championship, moved in with Tua. Tua took over, did his thing. They put him as the second string quarterback. He navigates the whole season, comes back in the championship game, then transfers to Oklahoma. He's a solid dude, man. And you don't care because he's an Alabama quarterback.
He's an Alabama quarterback. So I want, for the sake of my own enjoyment, because I have no rooting interest in this game, I want a good football game. But I could care. I don't care about the Eagles. They could lose. I would prefer Patrick.
I hope they're not so injured, like so many injuries on both teams that you don't see a hobbled game, right? Like everyone injured. I don't want to see more. No, Tal's
I'm gonna block you. Yeah.
He's coming in from South Jersey. He's just representing.
You Jersey people. What, y'all have a team?
No, we're Steelers.
The Jets.
No. Wait, hard pause. The New York Jets play in New Jersey, but they are not New York, and that's a North Jersey thing.
They're the New Jersey Jets. They are the New Jersey Jets.
They are not the team. They're not. No.
Where do they play?
That's North Jersey. That's a completely different area of town. South Jersey.
People in South Georgia care?
In South Jersey? Definitely.
People in South Georgia are still Falcons fans.
Yeah, because they don't have anybody else. Who are they going to root for? Jacksonville?
Jacksonville?
No. Nope. Philly is like 45. Philly is like an hour, 15 minutes max. Door to door.
Y'all picking and choosing that, man.
But I would say, man. I'm naturally a Steelers fan. I'll be a Steelers fan until the day I die. But is that a cultural thing? Are you? It was just how I was raised. My dad's a Steelers fan.
I got you.
So I was indoctrinated into that. But I would say If Pittsburgh ain't in, then I'm rooting for Philly every time.
I am a Pittsburgh fan only because of Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
I'm always root for Mike Tomlin. That's about it.
Solid bet.
I'm a players guy, right? Like I like Joe Burrow. Like I eventually want to see the Bengals win because that dude is a hell of a quarterback.
How you voting for? How you gonna go with Joe Burrows? Because he's LSU.
He's LSU. He's transfer portal LSU.
But he's so then he's an Ohio State. He's a Buckeye, and you still.
I don't really care about the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are irrelevant.
I'm just saying, like Joe Burrows, I could see the look in him that he's got a future in the league. I'm happy for him, but he won't be getting my votes, and that's probably because he's too close to Pittsburgh. He's too close.
This dude will probably, if he, obviously it's easy right now because he ain't gotten paid, right? Like the NFL is set up so that you win, that you have to win or you should win when you got quarterbacks on rookie contracts, because once you pay them, it's a salary cap league. So once you start paying quarterbacks, you ain't got money for everybody else.
Right.
And that's what happened to the Falcons, right? Falcons, they paid Matt Ryan, they paid Julio, and now they ain't got no money to do nothing else, right? And so, while all these quarterbacks are young, you better ride with them. I mean, and that's what Seattle did. They won with what's it, Russell, whatever, Sierra's husband.
Yeah,
they won with him, and they stacked that deck with a bunch of superstars, and they won with a quarterback on a rookie deal. But once they had to pay him, we can't keep all these dudes that helped us win because we got to pay you. So, yeah.
That's a rough thing. That's rough. It's rough. It's real out there. I would say that. But I think Jalen's got my vote this time. Patrick, I mean, okay. I was rooting for the
guy. Is it because he's light skinned?
No, it's just light skinned. It's because he's won already. He's won already. Let's give somebody else a chance. Come on, man. You're good. And I think they will. I think they will.
More than one. Like, hold on. What? Like? So were you voting against Jordan after he won his first one? I want Patrick Ewing to win.
I was probably rooting against Jordan after he won 3. Right? I was like, all right, somebody else can come up. Same deal for Steph Curry. I love Steph Curry. You won a bunch of times, man. Sit your ass down somewhere. Come on, man.
Hey, I wanted Jordan to win every time he stepped on the court. I love Steph Curry. Love watching that kid play. I love watching elite people do what they do. It don't matter what it is. If you are elite at what you do, it is magic to watch, right? Like when you step out on the court.
But see, like that's the same way I feel about Jalen. I feel like Jalen Hurts is showing you, like, oh, I'm here now. And I can do this, right? I can do this well. I give him respect. I don't want it to be misconstrued. I don't have a problem with individual effort, individual excellence at position. I'm just saying I get a little over it when it's like, all right, we're doing this again. This is what we're doing. All right. I've already done this before.
Hey, boring. When you are elite, I love watching elite people operate, except Tom Brady.
So were you rooting for Tom Brady?
No, I hated Tom Brady because he's a cheater.
I mean, he's elite at what he does, though, right?
Yeah.
So why did you vote for Brett Favre?
No.
Were you a Brett Favre fan?
I was not a Brett Favre. So all right, I'll say I've gone through phases. When Favre was in the league, I was not my football acumen was a little different than it is now. Okay. I say I probably consume significantly more sports today than I have ever consumed in my life.
Right.
So I hate Tom Brady, partly for the Super Bowl against the Falcons, partly because he's a cheater, and partly because dang it, he's just like I respect him as the greatest quarterback of all time. Like this dude will be the greatest. There's no will be. He is the greatest quarterback of all time. This is not a conversation. It's not up for debate. But I still dislike him as a like I was like, I hate this dude. You know, so he is the exception to my random ass rule. Because I genuinely dislike this guy.
So LeBron.
Yeah, I love LeBron. Like love LeBron. Yeah. I think LeBron is a little softer than I would like him to be, but I like him as a basketball player.
I also think LeBron is manipulating the market to get what he wants when his son hits the league. But that's a topic for another day. So
I think that's so I'll say that is a topic for a different day. But I'll say the NBA is unique in that way that the players can manipulate the market significantly more than they can in other sports.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They are acutely aware of how much power they have. You know what I mean?
But I think it's different, right? Because football, they don't have any power because they're faceless and nameless. They wear a helmet all day. And at the end of the day, it's, you know, in college, it's 100 people on every team. And we're not talking about Steph Quavius. He's just a drunk. And he still should get drafted. But, you know, in NFL, and the NFL views its players as replaceable. Right. Whereas the NBA, you can't they're a superstar driven league. Yes, you might have 4 rounds of the draft, but you only getting high quality players in the first half of the first round. So the NBA knows it's a superstar driven league, and you know, and that's just different than every other sport. So the basketball players just wield a tremendous amount of power, and they don't, and no other athlete in no other sport wields that level of power.
I don't know if no other sport, but I definitely agree with you for a number of reasons. I think that is fairly true. It's just I think I am down for individual excellence at position. At the same time, like I'm sorry, like I get the whole logic behind why people are like Alabama this, Alabama that, roll tide, and blah blah blah.
Who's Alabama?
I just think it's incredibly boring, and I'm just I you know me, I like the chaos.
Real quick, who's Alabama? Because last time I checked, University of Georgia was back-to-back national champs.
No, but what I'm saying is when Alabama was in the championship all those times, and people were like, Alabama this, Alabama that. I was like, I'm so over Alabama making it to the championship just because I'm like a little bit of
Last I heard about Alabama, they lost to Georgia. Last time Alabama was good, they got beat down by Georgia. So I don't really know. So
were you still feeling that way when Alabama was beating up on Georgia though? Or were you still like, I like excellence? were you still about that? I love excellence.
Back in the day, like, you know, all I know is that the University of Georgia there's a new era of college football today, and it's currently being dominated by the University of Georgia. And we'll ride that mountain. I mean, it's hard. The crown is heavy, man. The mountaintop is not fair for when you get here. Do you know how hard it is to stay here? You don't understand the stress that Georgia fans, coaches, and players. That's probably what happened to Steph Quavius, is the mental anguish of being the king of the mountain. It's hard. You know how many times Satan tested Jesus? Huh?
Yeah, true.
That's in the Bible. Fam, it is hard being at the top. And so, yes, as a Georgia fan, you know, we will fall sometime, but because of Kirby Smart, we will get back up. It is exhausting. We talked about decision fatigue. We have winning fatigue right now. It is exhausting to win every week in blowout fashion. You know how hard that is? It is exhausting.
Somebody is feeling it tonight.
I'm just saying, like I don't, because see, here's the problem: is when you've never won on, it's really hard to imagine what it's like. The air is when you get to the mountain. See, this is what people don't tell you, right? When you get to the mountaintop, the air is thin, right?
Okay.
And it's harder
Right.
to breathe up there. When you're in the
Well,
valley, it's
uh-huh.
plentiful, it's easy. You get fat and happy down here at the bottom, but when you get to the mountaintop, huh? Huh? See, like it's just hard. It is hard when you get to the top, and you're lonely. It is lonely up here.
It's lonely.
Only one person can plant the flag at the top, man. Right now, right now it's Georgia.
I'm glad you said, yeah, I don't remember anything about that period of time.
I lived in the dark years. Yes, Daniel. Y'all got Jordan Davis, and you have Nakobe Dean. Let's not forget about Nakobe Dean, the best linebacker in the country.
That's what I heard you say. I plead the physics.
Hey, every Georgia fan that existed outside of the Kirby Smart era knows the mental anguish that we went through to get to where we got. And so every fan that is older than the Kirby Smart era is going to ride this mug till the wheels fall off, right? We're going to ride every championship. We're going to go to every parade. We're going to celebrate every win, every touchdown. Because, we rode 40 freaking years without having one. So, yes, I'm riding every one of them bitches.
I mean, you should feel great. I'm not saying don't feel great about where Georgia is. I'm just saying.
Hey, here's what I know.
As it relates to the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going.
I'm rooting for Kansas. I think Jordan Davis is hurt. I would root for Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean to have good games, but then Kansas City to win. I'm like, I exist in that level of petty, right? I will say I want the players that I like, the two that went to Georgia, to have great games, but then the other team to win. Because, if we're being honest, Georgia's the only team in the country that has had a player on the Super Bowl team since 2001. University of Georgia, you can look it up. It's scientific fact. We've had a player on the we've had a player in the Super Bowl every year since 2001. And right now we got a player on both. Actually, in the AFC and NFC championship game, the University of Georgia had at least one player on all four teams.
I mean, they should now, right? Like they're one of the best teams out there. Right?
Alabama didn't have it. Nor did Ohio State.
Keisha, don't encourage this. Keisha is up here tagging along. She's like, more facts. I hear I hear nothing but truth.
Kirby Smart said it. Either you're elite or you're not.
Oh God. I really hope y'all win out next season. Because if not,
the schedule's so trash. We're gonna be undefeated next year too.
Until we get to the SEC championship. Of the best, we are the best.
Damn, this is not hard. We have a player on both teams. We got McCole Hardman playing for Kansas City, and we got Jordan Davis and Roquan Smith. Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean for the Eagles.
Well,
Georgia's gonna win regardless.
All I'm saying is, I'm fighting for the Eagles. I'm going for the Eagles. The Eagles, I think, are gonna win this one. This.
I'm going for the Georgia players.
You're going for the Georgia player. Yo, y'all are crazy. Georgia fans, this is what a time to be alive, because I love that Georgia fans are bringing, right? Even the players with Stetson getting drunk and all that. Stetson out here living life back to back.
And the funny part about it is Georgia We've always been obnoxious.
I don't know.
So now we're winning.
I wouldn't count Georgia as obnoxious. You're not Dallas Cowboys fans, right? Like Dallas Cowboy
they're
fans.
delusional.
Like, oh my God, somebody walks into a room with Dallas Cowboys stuff all on. I have to excuse myself. There's only maybe.
Quick. Keisha said, "What's that coming down the track?"
What do you mean?
I'll let Keisha. It's coming. Hold on, Keisha about to tell you what's coming down the track.
All I'm saying.
Wait for it. Keep going. It's coming. I'll put it up on. Wait, it's coming. Hold on. She's gonna tell you.
All I'm saying is, when Dallas fans are out there like that, I just can't. I just can't do it. I can't do it. They're so into Dallas Cowboys, and I've never seen a team that does not warrant that much fandom. I just don't get it.
That's
a huge machine in red and black.
There's nothing finer in the land but a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go Dogs.
Yo, Georgia fans, I can't even. Y'all are moving into that Dallas territory.
No, there's a big difference, right? Because the Cowboy fans are delusional and they lose. It's okay
Right.
for us to be obnoxious because we win.
Almost as obnoxious as Alabama fans, right?
As long as Kirby Smart is our head coach, I don't care what they pay that man. Don't care. I think right now he's getting like $7 million a year. That's too. Ain't enough.
I think he might be the highest paid state employee.
Yeah, I think he is the high. I think he might be second behind the dude who manages the Georgia pensions. Either he's first or second. I want to say I saw the article where like him and the dude who owns who runs the Georgia pension fund are the two highest paid state employees. I say only one of them winning. So only one of them earning his money.
I'm gonna have to look this up because I'm like, that sounds about right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's Kirby and the dude who runs the state pension program.
Hey, he can keep running that state pension program though.
And Kirby can keep running the state of Georgia football team.
Dude.
Hey, I got good news, by the way. We need to wrap. We need to wrap. So, good news. Shalisha is confirmed to come on the show next week to talk about estate planning in the Black community and why it's so important. So, so we'll have a guest to kick off Black History Month next week. So you guys make sure you tell a friend. I'll make sure we do a graphic like we did last year for all our Black History Month guests. So that'll be first one.
Yep. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on the rest of the month. So,
hey man, I knew we wanted to kick it off. So I talked to Shalisha today. So she's excited and she'll come on as an attorney that focuses on estate planning and be able to guide us through setting that stuff up for our family.
Let's get it right. I'm excited. Good slate coming up. You want to do heroes and villains? All right. Who you got?
Let's do it. I already got the banner rolling, man.
Who you got?
So my hero for this week, I don't know if I have a villain. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. If I get there, I get there. But my hero this week, Candace and I, we went to my homie, first from one of my longtime friends, turned 40 this weekend. So we went out. Kids went to grandma's house. Point of the whole story is we went to this coffee shop in Eastlake called the Coffee Shop at Eastlake. And I thought about you because I walked in. It's a Black-owned coffee shop. Coffee was super dope. It wasn't vibe. I mean, the vibe was different than what you want to do with your coffee shop, but it was still a vibe. And the food was amazing. Like, food was really, really good. The coffee, there were people in there getting coffee. The reviews on the coffee were really good. I got hot cocoa because y'all know I don't drink coffee. But the cocoa was fire. And then I also got this. That's what I'm drinking now. It's this basil mint lemonade.
Oh,
Dear God.
is it the
So
spot off of
two.
Memorial? Is it off of Memorial?
Yes, it's on Memorial. Yeah, it's right on
Yeah,
Memorial.
I know exactly what you're
On the
talking
corner.
about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a good spot. Good spot.
It's black owned. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's black owned. It's a dope coffee shop. Family, family owned, family friendly. Like the owner, black woman. She brought us out the food, right?
right.
So super dope spot. But it made me, when I was sitting in there with Candace, it's like, yo, like this is a vibe. Like this is not the look you were going for, but the high quality of the coffee.
Right.
Just the low key atmosphere with people sitting and chilling. I was like, yo, like this is Carrie's spot. So I thought about you in the coffee shop. But yeah, if y'all are ever in the area, people, it's called My Coffee Shop at East Lake. Super dope spot.
That's what's up.
So
no villains.
No villains for me, man.
My hero of the week is Disney Plus, because Wakanda
is tomorrow
on Wednesday.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday morning at 3:00 in the morning. I think I will be watching Wakanda Forever and being like, yes.
Pause. We literally led the whole first portion of this show talking about how you need rest. It can't be at 3:00 in the morning. Bro, no, that ain't it. It ain't it.
Well,
bro,
see, but you're not
spent the first 45 minutes of the show.
Well, I'm going to clarify. When Remy wakes up in the middle of the night, I'm going to turn on Wakanda Forever and wait for her to fall back asleep or something. I don't know. We're going to figure it out, because I don't want to volunteer for that just yet. So
exactly.
Anyway,
hey, we praying Remy get good sleep from now on. That's what we manifesting. That our children start to get good sleep.
Hey, I'm hoping, wishing, praying for that. Villain of the week. I don't know, man. I'm not even going to go down this route, but there's a bunch of craziness going on out there in the world, from random acts of violence to police violence to rioters to just craziness out here. I guess I'm over fatigued by that, right? So I don't know what else to say about that, but I can't even watch videos no more. I can't watch the news. It's just people out here tripping. You know what I mean? Like, they said a random dude in and I think it was East Point walked into a gas station, got into it with a dude, and then shot him in the bathroom stall, and then walked away. It was like some craziness there. It's just people bugging. You know what I mean? Just out here tripping. So I don't know.
Yeah, man. Protect your family, man. Protect your mental health.
Yeah. Gotta figure something out. Gotta figure out more positive ways of navigating this world than violence in this way. So that's my villain. Man. So good show, man. We made it through.
Good show. Mama, we made it. Hey man, thank y'all for watching with us, man. Like we went an hour and 15, so we kept it short and sweet. I have a feeling next week we may go a little bit long, because if y'all have some good questions for Shalisha. So she's my sister-in-law, estate planning attorney. So hopefully that'll be good for the group. Really kick off this Black History Month with some special content that'll really help us. We talk about a lot of fun stuff, a lot of foolishness. But we can be serious when we need to.
Right. We got y'all. It's gonna be a good month. It's gonna be a good Black History Month.
Yeah. So, hey man, have a good week.
Hey, you too, man. Be out here, be your best self. That's what I want.
Yeah.
For y'all.
Hey, but real talk. My commitment is, if I feel like I'm starting to spiral in my or compartmentalize in negativity, I will pick up the phone and I'll call you.
Hit me up, because that would be my prompt to be like, pull yourself out of work. Jeff is calling. Jeff is calling. Hey, I gotta go. My bro.
Oh no! Hey, wait! If you just need me to call you to pull you out of work, just send me a text or just like my last message to you, and
I ain't thinking about that
that'll
stuff.
be my problem.
I ain't thinking about that stuff. I never now. I'm not that person, but I am the person that will for my friends. I will just stop everything I'm doing and be like, hey, I'll be like, shh. People are calling. I have to go. Thank you. And people are like, what? You're just gonna leave in the middle of the meeting? Yep. Friends.
Hey,
friends.
we gotta bring Marlon, Tasha's husband, Marlon, on the show one day, man. He's turning 50 this year, and so here we are turning 40 this year. He turning 50, or is he turned 50? I think he's turning 50. And so really just to get what it feels like to be on the, here we are talking about the struggles and things that we have going through at 40. What's he thinking about hitting that big 5-0 mark? So that'll be a cool conversation to have.
That's that. Yeah, I'd be down for that. So, yeah, man.
We gonna get there eventually.
One way or another.
Hey, bro.
Right?
Anyway, huh?
I said one way or another we'll get there.
Yo, okay, real quick. I heard today, I heard the CEO of Operation Hope speak today. He said if you live in a zip code whose average credit score is 700, I think it was 700, then you live to be 81 years old. But if the average credit score of your zip code is below 700, then your life expectancy is 61, I think he said, or 71 or 61. And I was like, God damn, that can't be right. Like, hold on, how do I look up
average credit score? Yeah, 559. I gotta move.
Right. So he said it caught me off guard. So now I got to go and find the research into that. Boom. Yeah. See, Tasha said he did the same thing last week. And I'm like, fam, hold up. So anyway, I didn't mean to throw that can of worms out there. Maybe we can talk about that.
Now, I'm like average credit score by zip code. But where do we find this out? How do we go about 7?
Hey, people gonna be moving for real.
People gonna be moving around for real.
Anyway.
So no. But good show, bro. Good show, bro.
Hey man. Hey, have a good week. Y'all, hey, for real, y'all have a great week. We love all our listeners and followers, man. Y'all come back next Monday for another great show, man. I'm Jeff.
I'm Kerry. Peace out, y'all.